Welcome to the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast.
Hello everyone, this is Jarvis Escott with What's Happening Birmingham today. I'm back again, back on, I like to call my own campaign trail. I'm in a different location, but I'm actually in a courtroom here in Jefferson County that I'm here today with Adrienne Moffett Powell.
Yes.
She's running for Jefferson County Circuit Court Judge, place 23.
Yes.
Reason why we kind of chose this location is because she starts off on this side.
There you go.
Of the courtroom, which hopefully if she wins on May 24th, she'll be on the other side that you all don't see. So Adrienne, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great, great, great. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Great. So if you're watching this, I think about 4 more days to Election Day. But if you're watching this on Tuesday before 7 p.m., definitely watch this video.
Yes.
Because polls open at 7, close at 7.
Yes, sir.
So the first tough question I like to ask these people are kind of like two tough questions. So why are you running for judge and why you chose a career in law?
Okay. Well, you know, I tell people I think I'd be a great asset to the bench. I have been doing domestic relations and family law cases now for almost 14 years, and I have done it as private practice, and I tell people I've literally dedicated my practice to this area. I'm passionate about it. And before that, I actually worked for domestic relations attorneys, which I try to get that out there. So I was able to kind of get an insight about what family law and domestic relations kind of involve. So I ended up being excited about it. The other thing is, you know, you do so much as an attorney, and you get to see the different sides of the cases from the man's perspective, the woman, and as well as the children. And it's just certain things that I saw in my cases that I would love to see more of on the bench. And I said, you know, as an attorney, I can't really do anything about it. I prayed about it, but I said I could make changes as a judge. And so I decided to run.
So break down for me, like, as you be a judge, what are the specific cases you'll be hearing?
Right, so domestic relations division is the seat that I'm running for, Jefferson County Circuit Court Domestic Relations Division. So that means that I am a domestic relations, i.e. divorce attorney. So that means I handle cases such as, and will do so as a domestic relations judge, that would be divorce, custody, child support, visitation, distribution of property, PFAs, things of that nature. All of that goes up under that umbrella of domestic relations.
Okay, so as you're hearing that, you're going to be making a lot of tough decisions.
Yes.
So one of my favorite questions I've always asked everybody that's running, especially judicial candidates, are what's some of the toughest decisions you've made in your life so far?
Oh, I've had a lot of tough decisions. You know, that's just life in itself. But one of the first ones that come to mind is when I was younger. I was 17. I have 2 younger brothers. And my mom passed when I was young. Okay. And as a result, I had to, even though I have this extremely close relationship with my father, I also had a very close relationship with my cousin, who was like my mother's best friend. Even though, you know, that's her aunt, they were best friends. And so one of the hardest decisions that I had to make is when she passed, my dad, of course, petitioned for custody, and so did my cousin. And I was the one that everyone kind of relied on to say where we would go. And I talked to my dad, and he knew I had a great relationship with my cousin, the same as she did. And so one of the toughest decisions is I had to decide, custody-wise, where my brothers and I would go and who we would live with. And of course, I knew that decision would change our lives. And so that would honestly be, and both of them were very supportive, and to this day, they co-parent with each other. But I ultimately did decide to live with my cousin. And I tell people they work together, and right now I still have a great relationship with my dad, close relationship with my cousin, and I'm glad that I made the decision that I made because it did not affect us, but it was a very hard one.
Now that being said, how can you, I mean, because with the private law, make that adjustment much easier for families and the children?
And so I don't know if it would be an adjustment that I could make. What happens is when you're older, and in that situation, that's what involved, or what I had to deal with. When you're older, courts do look at that particular child's wish as far as where they want to go custody. And so the courts will not make that solely based on where custody goes, based on that child's decision, but they do take it into consideration. And the older the child is, which, as I stated, I was 17, they do take that into consideration, but they still do what they believe is in the best interest of the child. So I could not have been 17 and say, hey, I want to live with my cousin, but on the side she sold drugs.
Oh, wow.
Or, you know, and I'm not saying that's what she did,
but
that's an extreme situation, or she was in a, you know, domestic violence relationship and we will be in that household and be exposed to that. If judges or things like that came out, then me at 17 can't make that decision because obviously that's not in the best interest of the child. But those are one of the things that you can't make an adjustment to as a judge, but that is what courts do take into consideration, a child's age when there's a custody case.
Okay, well let's back up for a bit. One of my favorite questions I used to answer all the candidates through this cycle is like, let's connect the dots. Okay. So where you grew up, where you went to high school, what sorority you pledged while you were in college, you know, community organizations.
Okay, so I am from Ensley. Okay. And I'm very proud. I make sure I tell everyone that I'm from Ensley. I went to Ensley High School, graduated from University of Montebello, and always say I'm a proud graduate of Miles Law School in Fairfield. I am a member of the best sorority, which is ALF, the Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. As far as community involvements, I tell people before I even decided to run and became a judicial candidate, I've always been out in the community and involved in different things. I've done food drives, I've done clothing drives, I've spoken at several churches, schools. I was doing all of these things before I decided to run. I am a member of Birmingham Junior League, which of course you know is built on community service as well. And I'm an active member in my sorority. Again, you know, our motto is service to all mankind. So of course being active in those different organizations allow me to continue to be a part of the community. And I do, like I said, several things I do just on my own, through my church, through schools, through anyone that asks me, or I just take it upon myself and say, okay, let me do a legal clinic, or let me do something with the youth. And of course, I'm a member of most of the legal organizations, the Birmingham Bar, Bessemer Bar, things of that nature, NAACP, yeah.
Well, I'll be remiss, what church you go to?
I am a member of Bessemer No. 1. I'm Kojic. My pastor is Dr. Milton Wren. Okay. And First Lady Wren, Deborah Wren. They are my favorite. I absolutely love my pastor and First Lady and love my church and my church members. Okay,
just in case you're a church member and you didn't know she was running, we want to connect that dot for y'all real quick.
I hope they know by now. Shame on me if my church members don't know I'm running by now.
So, why should voters choose you?
Experience. Okay. You know, that's the biggest thing I have been running on. My platform has been experience, compassion, and fairness. And the reason I kind of harp on that, in a lot of my speeches and when I go out and talk to the community or I address the different audiences, the first thing I tell them is what I've done, that I've sat as special judge for several different judges on numerous occasions, and I explain what a special judge is. And you know, that's judges where when they're unavailable to handle their cases, they call on me as an attorney to step in and make rulings on their behalf, on the bench, on behalf of their docket. And you know, of course, I make sure I tell my legal experience. Like I said, 14 years, I've been in private practice doing domestic relations and family law. And then prior to that, 6 years. So I have 20 years legal experience in that particular area. I've done hundreds of cases, and I'm very proud to say I've represented all parties. I've represented husbands, wives, as well as children. And the reason I harp on that, not for accolades, just to kind of put out there, and I have support of judges and I have support of hundreds of domestic relation lawyers. I tell people that because you want to know what type of candidate you're going to have before they get on the bench. You want someone with experience. You want someone that's knowledgeable of the law. You want someone who understands it. And you also want someone who, they've done these type of cases so often and so long and I've done hundreds of them. We also see the emotional side of it. So you want a judge who have been in the trenches, have done trials, see the law, but have also seen the emotional side of it. And that's why I also say I'm a great candidate, because I've done that. And as a result, you know that you need a judge that's going to be understanding. I know that you need a judge that's going to listen and be compassionate when they're dealing with family, when they're dealing with children, dealing with other people's loved ones. And these are not jury trial cases. So I explain to people, your candidate, you look into them, because whatever you decide vote-wise, it pretty much stops at the judge outside the appeal process. So, and again, fairness Every candidate is going to say that. And I believe that I will be a fair judge. I know I will. I've experienced matters in front of judges and wasn't treated fairly, and it's not a good feeling. I see what it's like for my clients. I don't like the way they feel. I'm passionate and hardworking for my clients, and I feel like they all should be treated fairly. So I intend to bring all of that. So that is why I believe I'll be the best candidate, and I'm the most qualified. So I'm asking, for everybody to look into that, but that's what I believe sets me apart from other candidates.
Okay. Well, I'll be remiss. I'm standing here right now as married.
Okay.
Not married, don't have any children. Hopefully, Lord, we're going to get one day. This is what they call manifest. What would you tell men if they had to come into your courtroom and face you?
Well, I don't know about...
Well, not face you, but if they had, ever in your courtroom.
Okay. Well, the first thing I want that I've been hearing a lot about since I've been out running, the difference in men, how they're treated in custody or visitation child support cases. I've been hearing a lot of that. So I will make sure, and it's not just men, but it's everyone. It goes back to that fairness. Men that I've been hearing from, they want to make sure that they're treated equally. They want to make sure that they're treated fair. Okay. And that's what you need, again, as a judge. And I think that's what most men that I've been hearing are concerned about who they vote for. Are they going to get a fair shot? Yes. They will hands down get a fair shot in my courtroom. But that would be everyone. And the other thing, like you said, just a little bit of advice that you don't see much of. A lot of men don't petition for custody or don't petition for visitation. They just reach agreements on whatever is set out through the moms or the wives. So that may be something that I could, like you said, want to say, hey, you may want to petition a little bit more because you just don't see that from the men. So it wouldn't change me or, as far as my standpoint as a judge, but that would be my advice.
Okay, so Tuesday, May 24th, it's coming up 3 days away. Yes. If they want to find out more about your campaign, where do they go? If they just need a ride to the polls, I'm just going to put that out there.
I will pick you up. So you want for Adrienne Powell, you need a ride to the polls? We're going to put you in the back of the car. I'll pick you up. No, I'm just like, I cannot pick you up.
So website or?
Yes, so my website is www.votepowerforjudge.com. And I've said it so many times. Let's see, votepowerforjudge.com. It's starting to just ring a bell at this point. My Facebook page is Vote Adrienne Moffett Powell. My email address is amoffettpowell@gmail.com. That's AMOFFETTPOWELL@gmail.com.
All right, then I might have a little contact information on that too. So
yes, good.
Trust me, I guess if they contact you on one of the platforms, you'll find a pickup truck.
Yes.
Your pickup truck. So Adrienne, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We wanted to get you on here. Finally got you.
Look, I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah. I think this is the best time. God do everything for a reason.
Yes,
Close to the election, I'm glad you were available for me to come on.
Well, thank you, and I think this kind of really brings it home because at some point, I always tell you all that these positions are the most important because at some point, you or somebody is going to come before a judge and you're going to be sitting on this side of the courtroom.
That is correct.
So you want to make sure that whoever you choose, that we got, like you said, buck stops at the judge. Yeah. So that being said, thank you all for watching this video. Please check out what'shappeningBirmingham.com for more interviews. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out the audio version of this on Apple Podcasts. And thank y'all again. And go vote.
Please do. Thank
Especially
you.
if you're watching this on Tuesday 4/7.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast. Please check out our website, app, or subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest videos today.